Hey lovelies, I'm here with a natural hair update video and I'm going to be showing you an extensive, detailed kind of timeline of what's been going on with my hair and all the different kinds of damage that I've experienced. Not only did I experience heat damage and breakage and a lot of thin strands, but I also wasn't aware of the extent and scope of my damage for a very long time, so I want to show you guys how that does happen. So the first thing that happened is my hair grew, even though it was damaged. So this is how my hair looked in August 2015. It was shorter, still thick. This is a twist out progression I'm showing you guys. In May of 2016, you can see it's growing, still thick. This is pre-wedding. And here in August, this is a couple months after the wedding, you can see that my hair is still growing, it's still pretty thick. And here's February, after I've done a lot of trimming and there's been a lot of damage, and as you can see, my hair is still thick and has grown. Now I'm talking to the girls who want to favor health over length, not people who are focusing on length. Your hair is going to grow, but if you are focusing on health and you want to make sure that your hair is still healthy even though it's growing, there are other things you're going to have to pay attention to. Your hair can be long and luscious and still be damaged. You're going to have to know your hair very well, and I'm still learning things 2 years after my big chop. Here you can see in earlier natural days what my natural hair looked like, untainted and undamaged. And even then it has discrepancies in its curl pattern, loose areas, and different textures. So it's important to know exactly how your hair naturally grows and what sort of deviations you've experienced. So as I've mentioned, I had my hair flat ironed right before my dress rehearsal, and then it was curled again on the actual day of the wedding. And I wanted to show you guys these pictures so you could see the areas and how they correlate to the damage, especially in the front, these spiral curls that I left out, and the edges. So as you can see here, this is on my honeymoon and my edges are pretty straight. So at first I figured, okay, maybe I just had some edges that were straighter and that's probably the only thing. And I really didn't even notice it that much because I figured maybe it was just slick or just broken pieces. And this is the only damage that I noticed on my honeymoon when my hair reverted. As you can see, over the summer I started to notice the straight pieces were actually much longer and more evident than I had thought. And I really just kept my hair in wash and goes and twists the whole summer, and I didn't really notice the damage as much because I was hiding it. In August, a couple months after the wedding, is when I started noticing. When I started wearing my hair out and in styles, and the frizz kind of would take over way more than it ever used to during the summer. And I started to notice thinner ends and broken pieces, and I started to notice a lot of damage that I simply hadn't been aware of before, especially when I started using my bentonite clay and saw the pieces that hung pretty straight. That was when it became evident to me. Here you can see me deep conditioning, and the thin ends are kind of ridiculous, and that is when I started to know just how damaged my hair really was, and I knew I had to take action. I started to deep condition my hair a lot, and that would help me to actually see the damage. I couldn't actually see it as much when I wasn't trying to define my curls. So that's what really helped me to see that those ends there, they're really thin, they're broken, and they're straighter. So they're experiencing heat damage as well as breakage. During my All About My Hair video, I took this snapshot of a broken piece of my edge, and from then I knew that I needed to do something. The damage was really starting to show its ugly head, and quite literally after I took these pictures, I hopped in front of a camera and I cut my hair, and this is the hair that I cut off, and I showed you guys that hair cut / trim that I did in September. So here are the results of that cut, and it looks pretty good. I have a new shape and my curls were starting to feel a lot better. And I thought that that was going to be pretty much the end of it. I thought that was the extent of my damage and my curls were kind of back to normal. And here you can see the difference between the ends, and just that difference made me feel way better. I finally felt comfortable styling my hair again and wearing it out without feeling so crazy because I had, a pretty blunt, even cut to my ends and they were much more alive. So as time passed, I figured my hair would be rejuvenated, and it did grow back in, and I pretty much basically trimmed out any area I saw that still had damage, including this one curl here you see in the back. It was pretty much all straight, as you can see here. My hair was growing, which was good, but I also was paying attention to shrinkage. As you can see here in the back, it shrinks right back up, so I figured the back curls are coming back to life as well, and my hair was growing in as well. But as you can see, the damage wasn't just on the ends, but it was in other places. It was higher up the strand. My next bentonite clay wash gave me all the answers I needed to know. I saw how my curls were growing back in and just how curly and thick they were in comparison to the rest of my curls. All of my curls are actually limper than the new growth that I was starting to see coming in. As you can see, the volume and the thickness and the kinks are just skyrocketing in comparison to the length of my curls. And it was in this moment in January that I realized that my entire head of hair was pretty much overall damaged to an extent, where there were areas you could visibly see were straight, but the rest of the curls that were still curly weren't quite what they needed to be, what they used to be, or how they grow. When I finally saw the extent, I essentially wanted to cry because I saw just how weak my curls were now. And as you can see here, I'm basically making the I want to cry because my hair is damaged face. And I knew that I had to make a decision, not soon, but I had to make a decision about whether or not I was going to just big chop or continue to trim pieces. So I guess what the game plan is right now is I'm essentially transitioning. Like, doesn't my hair look like it's transitioning? I'm transitioning. And as you can see, some areas are better than others, some areas are worse than others. I'm sort of assessing my entire head and just working as I go to see what the extent of the damage is. And as I learn, I can see, what needs to happen with my hair. And I don't want to make a decision too soon about whether I need to big chop or not. But the fact of the matter is that you guys can visually see here is that my hair is damaged. I want you guys to notice this area right here. All the way around my head to about here is kind of like flatter. The curls are coming in thicker than normal. It loses its thickness and curls right about here. These guys, these are my edges. Back in June of last year when I got married. And like I told you guys, I wanted what I wanted for my wedding. I wanted it to be straight. I didn't want my edges to be like going crazy or anything, so I wanted them to be straight, and they ended up getting heat damage. They ended up being like really straight pieces. Now that my hair is going back in, all of this, starts about here, all of this has come in since June. This side is the side that I wore, like this, my part 2 for the wedding. So this side got the worst, but as you can see, it looks like my hair is uneven in the front. It's not, it's just that this is straighter than this for more, so it hangs a little bit longer. It's a little bit awkward. And this straight business is like, it goes kind of like around. Edges here used to be edges, now they're down here. See that? Straighter. All this is going back since June, and that's still a little bit of straight piece, as you can see. So as you can see the difference in thickness and curls and all that stuff. I wanted to show you guys that it's still curling. They still have curls, like it's not the end of the world. This side's worse than this side, but that's just my little insert to explain the situation. It's true, my hair is still curly. It's not the end of the world, but these aren't my curls. I would say my hair is about 60% damaged. So my goal now is to transition, load up on healthcare, and keep trimming my ends until my hair returns to the health that it was before the damage, but is much longer because time has passed. That is my goal. Health and wealth, but health and length basically is what I'm going for. And the only way to do that is to transition out the damage and continue to take care of my hair kind of double time, triple time, more than I would have otherwise, so that I can restore health to the hair that's coming in. I just wanted to break this down, you guys, and show you about what's been going on in my hair, and stay tuned for all that is to come. There is a ton that I've been doing to my hair to rejuvenate as much as I can. In the meantime, lots about trimming and taking care of breakage, as well as low manipulative protective styles to protect my hair in the meantime. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you in my next video.